Dr. Pepper. I don't really care if anybody ever sees this. I don't know if they'll let me keep my YouTube channel after I make this video. Really don't give a shit. I can't go to sleep with this on my mind. I want to keep names and places out of it because it might hurt a couple of people that I truly care about. And I think there's a couple of good guys. But tonight was possibly one of the most fucked up things that I ever witnessed. And I don't think anybody realizes it. I don't want y'all thinking I'm some morally high ground. I don't even know what the word is. I don't really know what a good Christian is anymore. I try and play by certain rules. I failed. I can't even tell you if I'm a good guy or not. I really can't. But I was with a group of guys tonight, and it was a religious thing. And the leader, which I think is one of the most narcissistic fucking assholes I've ever met in my life, just took the whole meeting sideways again, right? And we were talking about possibly one of the smallest chapters in the Bible. Story really doesn't have much relevance. But all of a sudden, he came out and he told the group that he didn't know if anybody knew the names. Is the pastor of this real big church somewhere in North Texas. And that a girl had come forward and claimed that she was sexually assaulted by the pastor and while she was a minor. And the guy's basically not a pastor anymore. He's in hiding. I don't want to get into the whole fucking story, but this guy that teaches the class, he's got this smirk. And when he's got this smirk, I don't think he's a true believer. Like most narcissistic assholes, politics, religion, whatever, I think he got into it because he can divide a wedge into people. And he can get the group to think a certain way. Groupthink. It's fucking dangerous shit. And it was amazing how he was more upset that the church was divided over this issue and has fractured into basically non-existence than he was about the guy sexually assaulting a minor. He was a pedophile. And I don't even give a shit. Well, I do care, but I don't care if the story is true or not true. He was mainly upset about people causing infighting in the church and dividing the church. But he really didn't say whether the guy was guilty or he didn't think the guy was guilty. He took the message more into forgiveness. And he got the whole group thinking that the girl, the young woman at the time, and the young girl at the time, now a woman, should have just forgave him and let it go. You know, and then the whole argument, forgiveness and forget. I'm not really the kind of guy that forgets. I've got a list of people that it's amazing they're breathing air on this planet. Call it divine intervention, if you will, or self-control, or they never really cross the line. But it just hit me that once again, he brought up a topic that had no relevance to what we were talking about. And if you know anything about pedophiles, is they wedge themselves into a core of good men and they divide. Everybody thinks you have to commit some terrible act to be an evil person. And I don't think that's true. The very act of dividing people and, I don't know how you should say this, getting good men to back pure evil is evil. And I don't think I'm ever fucking going back. To tell you the truth, I was more shocked. I'm like, am I the only one in this fucking room getting this? Or what am I not getting? Because sometimes human interactions fucking just get to me and I don't know how to react. But everybody was in agreement that this girl should forgive him and should have not divided the church. In the ends justify the means, right? The guy went on with his life as if nothing ever happened and convinced everybody he was a man of God and this big preacher, and this woman that was a small girl at the time is somehow at fault and should forgive the person instead of going down the path that she went down. And the whole time he had that smirk. And when he does that smirk, he has that little smile. And all the other men, I looked around the room and there was a couple of them that were confused. You could tell they were confused. And they didn't speak up. And I didn't know if I should fucking weigh into it or not. But then that's exactly what he wants. And the way he caps it off is, if you divide the church, or if you have an opinion that somehow hurts the church, then it's one of those things that you're at fault, if that really explains it, right? And the main reason why I left the Catholic Church is several people thought I needed counseling and go to confession, and it's more of a one-on-one kind of thing, not really a confession, but instead of going to a shrink, you go to a fucking priest. And I told the man the truth, and he never looked at me right again. Or he never shook my hand after that day, and he never looked me in the eyes. And that pissed me off more than anything. Because people don't want the truth. They want automatic response. They want you to say things that they have automatic responses to. They don't want to fucking think about shit. And the way the Catholic priest ended it was that basically I am guilty of everything I thought about as if I had done it. Think about that for a second. If you think it, you're just as guilty as if you committed the act. And that pissed me off. But I truly don't think I'll ever go back there. And it's amazing how the one fucking person that is always talking about how bad it is to create infighting and divide the church is the one motherfucker driving the biggest goddamn wedge into the church, and nobody else sees it. It's like if you take two people out of that whole fucking church, how smooth things would operate. Don't bring up shit you don't have to fucking bring up. Don't do this 90-degree turn. But to sit there and say, and it's not, believe all women and all this progressive bullshit, but it was amazing how fast they turned on the woman. It was her position to forgive and not cause infighting in the church. That is fucking scary shit. So here it is, the fucking second time in my life where I thought I was surrounded by good men, good, honorable men, and yet pedophilia, sexual assaults, God forbid you call it rape anymore, unless you're A&E, then you can, or crime documentary or Netflix, all the shit you see on YouTube. You change the way people talk, then you change the way people think, and then you go along and group think. And I was just sitting there fucking amazed. I didn't even bring it up with the guy I rode with. He may see this video. I don't really give a shit if he does or doesn't. I didn't really even ask his opinion on it. But no relevance on what we were talking about. He brought it up as if he was a side part. Last time we met, he brought up some guy's dead child out of fucking nowhere. He had that same fucking smirk. He enjoyed it. The one thing I can't think of, and that was brought up again tonight, death of a child, he enjoyed it. It's the little things when you're looking at people, and every time he does that little smirk and head tilt, and his eyes become clearer, he enjoys it. He purposely sets himself up as a person of God moving forward and good honorable man. But I don't think he generally believes anything he says. But what really gets to him, what he enjoys, is bringing up things that hurt people. And then at the end of it, he got a room full of good, honorable men convinced and talking about how the woman should ask for forgiveness without really talking much about the guy. He's some big time pastor. Who fucking cares? Did he or did he not commit the crime? How? And yet again, I'm in a room or surrounded by good, honorable men, and there's a pedophile at the center of it, and one guy taking up the mantle, and yet again trying to convince all the good people around us that the infighting and all this shit is what's wrong with the situation, and that the woman should have asked for forgiveness, as if she did something wrong. In any fucking time, telling the truth is wrong in a fucking church, nonetheless. And good honorable men side with evil. Pure fucking evil. We've lost our fucking country. We've lost the idea of what it is to be religious, what it is to be a good Christian. And it's like, oh, well, God said, or Jesus said, forgive your enemies and love your enemies and all this other bullshit. But yet, to sit there and tell a woman, or to tell a group of men that are supposed to be strong fucking leaders of the community and pillars of strength and lean on each other and build each other up, that it was the woman's fault. Because why would she ask for forgiveness? Forgive the guy that did that to her. Because it's causing infighting in the church. I just can't do people anymore, to tell you the truth. I'm pretty good one-on-one. I can maintain friends and shit. So it's obviously I'm not the fucking problem. As much as I've got fucking problems, I'm not the fucking problem. But to have, and the thing is, several people believe the same thing I believe. Not that my beliefs need anybody to believe a goddamn thing, but they're afraid to come forward and say anything because his position in the church, because of who he is. Independently, they'll tell me one-on-one, yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, that shouldn't have been said. Yeah, I don't agree with that. But I don't want to bring up any issues. And yet, he enjoys torturing people. And the guy that was next to me when he brought up his dead child, you know, what do you do? Where do you fucking go from that? What do you say to the guy? Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry you lost your child. You know, and look up and see the son bitch smiling and nobody else noticing it. To have somebody in the church that quite a few people have told me independently they want nothing to do with, but yet we're supposed to get together because we're good honorable men and build each other up, and we're talking about how the woman should have forgave the pastor. Not what the pastor did, not that he has an issue with breaking laws, should go to jail, but that he would lose his church and cause infighting, that she would make him lose his church and cause infighting. Where do you fucking go from there? And that's the whole thing about pedophiles, is they will bore into a group and cause infighting. It's the act alone isn't evil enough. They derive pleasure from it by dividing people on, do you support this person or not, based on who he is now. Not that he's ever been held accountable for his crimes, but who he is now. what he has done with his life. The fact that his life is built on the fractured mental and physical state of minors is irrelevant. When you can have good, honorable men fighting for a cause that they would independently not agree with. It's fucked up, man. I mean, after tonight, there's a couple of good guys in there, and I'll miss them dearly, but I just don't know if I can go back from that. And it was weird. I'm not going to go into that aspect of it. I think he has a dark soul. I think he's narcissistic. I don't know about his wife. I think she's a true believer. But I think he is purposely there to... It's one of those things, the guy says, well, infighting in the church or people causing issues, when it's him actually causing the issue. And he seems to do it a lot. It's like every other time we meet, he brings up something else, and he lies to the entire group. He'll fucking tell a lie to the whole group. And several people have called him on that. Well, it didn't really happen that way. But I don't want to cause anything because maybe you misunderstood him. How many times do you have to misunderstand somebody before you start looking at this as a pattern? He enjoys this. And it's the one casting stones that is the one causing the fucking problems. But I was at, the thing is, I was at a party once, and it was outside, and everybody was happy-go-lucky. And one of the guys sitting across to me happened to say, well, if you can't stop it, might as well enjoy it, talking about sexual assault in a woman, right? What women should do in the middle of it. And I looked over at my father, and my father just shook his head no. And the guy brought it up again. So I said, okay. I said, you've crossed the line a second time, and not even my father can save your ass. What I'm going to do is I'm going to beat you within an inch of your fucking life. I'm going to drag you behind that garage and butt fuck the shit out of you. And if you survive what I'm about to do to you, I would like to know if you got any enjoyment out of it. And he thought I was joking. It wasn't until I stood up where he realized, oh shit, this is really going to fucking happen. And a couple of months later, he was in the driveway of my house, and he said, yeah, I crossed the line. And me and him have talked several times since then. But it wasn't until somebody truly scared the shit out of him, literally. He fucking left about 20 minutes after that. He made up some excuse and fucking hauled ass. And he's married and has a couple of kids now. But it wasn't until somebody really scared the hell out of him and knew what was about to happen to him that he ever stopped to think about it. In several situations since then, but it always seems to be around pedophiles that I have a major hiccup with. But to tell a whole group of men that that the woman should should forgive him and just move on because they fractured a big church, that this has caused a huge uproar in the religious community. And this was like the final fucking straw. The final fucking straw. And me and one of the other members that were there were talking, and well, I won't bring him into it, but I kind of thought that was fucked up, but in a nice way that he said it. I'm just tired of not being able to look people in the fucking eyes anymore. That every time I get in a good group of men, this thing about pedophilia and fucking sexual assault and rape, and they always seem to come down on the wrong side. It's becoming a thing. If you were sexually assaulted or molested as a child, I truly am sorry. But we are growing a culture that not only accepts it, but is actually fighting for it by convincing the victims that they should forgive. I'm past forgiveness. If I never see the fucking pearly gates, I could really give a shit at this point. I think the best thing for me is just be erased from the book of God. And I'm kind of done with the religion for a while. And the pastors of that church, well, the one's never said 10 fucking words because he got the personality of a fucking stupid goat. But the man that started the church or made the church what it is, he's a good guy. He wasn't there tonight. And that's another thing. This narcissistic asshole always seems to twist the blade of division and excitement whenever the pastor is not there. I truly hope in time people see this and have the balls to step forward. I was truly dumbstruck and didn't know what to do tonight. But I'm done. I can't tell you how much I'm fucking done. With society, with people, with religion, I'm just fucking done. I hope I'm around when this party starts.